Hey guys, today we're going to be putting in a rear wheel bearing on a 2004 Nissan Maxima. I've already gotten started on this one. I've gotten it jacked up, I've got it supported underneath, and the tire removed. Now we're going to start by getting into the rear wheel bearing. We're going to need to remove this rear rotor. So we're going to start by taking off the caliper, what holds the brake shoes on there. We'll start by removing these 14mm nuts right here. There'll be one at the top and one at the bottom. So we're going to remove these two 14mm nuts off the caliper and remove the caliper and the brake shoes. Then we'll start on the caliper bracket. But right now we're just going to remove the two 14mm nuts on the caliper. Alright, so I went ahead and removed the bolts off the caliper bracket here. I removed the top one. The bottom one will only come out to a point. I got it loosened up now, but if you try and remove it, there it goes, it'll hit this bar right here. So don't worry about that right now. I'm going to show you how to get around that. But what we're going to do is remove the top bolt, lay it on a nice clean surface. You're going to take your screwdriver and you're going to put it in here on the caliper, and you're going to catch it on the back side of the rotor. Not pull a lot, just a few pounds of pressure. What you're going to do is pull that piston back into the caliper to where it wobbles on here. Now it'll slide directly back off the shoes, like so. Now we got plenty of working room to get in back here to our caliper bracket bolts. And there's the bolts located back here behind there that's holding on to this caliper bracket. So we're going to remove them too. I believe there's 18 or 19. I'm not sure, don't hold me to that. But we're going to remove these two bolts right now. That'll take off this caliper, you know, with the bolt that's stuck right here. You don't have to worry about that. It's going to take off the whole bracket and lay it to the side by removing them two nuts. Okay, one time you've gotten them nuts off, you'll just be able to take this whole assembly and just pick it up and put it over here on top of the control arm. You don't want to leave it hanging on this brake line here. That's bad. You never want to leave it hanging on the rubber brake line. So I rested up top here. It's out of the way. His brake pads are extremely thin. Alright, now's a good time to get into the brake pads too. This is on the bracket that the caliper hangs on. This is just the bracket. I just loaded here to the side. His brake pads are getting right thin, as you can see. This is the brake pad. This is the metal backing plate. And his pads are just extremely thin. So while we're in there doing these bearings, we're also going to do a rear brake job. So anyway, we got the caliper off and out the way, caliper bracket out of the way, sitting up there resting on top of the arm. Now we're going to take off this rotor. These rotors are stuck on here. They take a little bit of convincing, so I'm going to go get me a little hammer and I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, we will convince that. Pops right off. Okay, so we got the rotor assembly off, caliper off, everything off. Now we're going to work on getting the bearing assembly off. Well, that feels rough. It's connected by 4 bolts that come in from the back side that hold it on. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that one here. There it is. One over here, and then of course there's 2 down there on the bottom as well. So what you can do is, as you see here, I got my ratchet wrench in from the back side. I believe they're 17mm. So you'll want to get them 4 17mm nuts out by coming in from the back side like so. They're going to be pretty tight. Oops, look there. They're going to be pretty tight to come out at first. Got that one broke loose, and then they'll just turn freely. So break them loose, reach back there, spin them out with your hands. If not, you'll have to work them out. Some of them come off easy, some of them don't. I'm screwing this one out with my hands, so you can see it just comes right out real easy. So break all 4 of these loose, and then we'll take it out of there. Alright, so we took out our 4 bolts. I left them resting in the back, and now we're going to remove this wheel bearing assembly. Now you can come in from the back side and tap it out the back side, as long as you're careful. There's an ABS sensor in the back there we don't want to damage. That's why I just prefer to do this. Just come up from the front at a little bit of an angle. Tap it right out. And there you have it. There's your wheel bearing assembly. You should get a new one. Comes in a box. Should look very, very similar to this. And you just put it in there. Stick your bolts in from the back and bolt it on. Put it back together. Reverse procedure is what we just took this one apart. Can you hear that? Oh, you can just imagine the noise. Just imagine the noise that made going down the road. But anyway, that's how you do the rear wheel bearing 2004 Nissan Maxima. Hope you enjoyed. It's a rather simple process. Hope it saves you some money. Good luck, y'all.